게임은 What Remains of Edith Finch. 예전에 제가 했었던 게임인데요. 이거 이제 시청자분들한테 한번 보여주고 싶어가지고 이게 괜찮거든요. 게임이 잘 만들었어요. 시작합니다. Let's get it! 경치 너무 좋아요. 게임에 방해될 수가 있으니까 제가 이렇게 가리고 깨끗한 화면으로 오른쪽 클릭이 확대, 왼쪽 클릭이 이제 철자 넘기는 거예요.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
처음부터 시작하지. 마우스가 왜 이렇게 숨기지? 전체 화면, 전체 화면 들어야지. 약간 이 친구가 이제 소설을 읽어주는 듯한 느낌으로 시작을 하네요.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
라고 표시된 7년 전 청구서들이 이렇게 빨리 사라집니다.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
나는 루이스 오빠의 장례식에 돌아오지 않았습니다.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
나를 위해 남긴 열쇠가 있었지만 열쇠가 뭘 여는지는 알려주지 않았다.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
아니면 비밀이 궁금해진 내가 돌아올 것이라 생각했을지도 모른다. 여긴 못 가나? 못 가네? 여기 한번 가볼까? 시프트로 확대가 됐네. 수영은 안 된다. 개구리 소리가 나는데 어딨냐? 여기서 나는데? 개구라! 개구라!
The truth is,
사실은
even
그게
after I inherited the house,
여기로
I never
돌아올
thought I'd come back to
것이라고는
it.
생각하지 않았다.
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
질문들이 생겼고 그 집만이 어쩌고 그걸 샬라샬라. 뭐 여기로도 갈 수 있네. 아닌가? 여기가 맞는 길인가? 도로네.
The woods around the house have always been
집 주변의
uncomfortably
숲은 언제나
silent,
기분 나쁘게 고요했다.
as if they're about to say something
마치
but
뭔가
never
말할
do.
것 같지만 절대로 말하지 않는 느낌. 이거 공포 게임 아닙니다. 힐링 게임입니다. 힐링 게임. 무서운 거 안 나옵니다.
The house was exactly like I
지금
remember
나의
it,
기억
the way I'd
그대로였다.
been dreaming about it.
그 모습이었다. 집이 댕 이뻐. 이런 집에 살고 싶어. 물론
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
어렸을 때 집은 말로 표현할 수 없는 방식으로 불편한 느낌을 주었다. 저런 더러워 보이는 거 다 깨끗하게
Now,
닦고 살고.
as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were.
17세가 된 지금
I
나는
was
정확하게
afraid of the
표현하지
house.
못했던 말이 무엇인지 알고 있다. 집이 두려운 것이다. 근데 무섭긴 하지. 개 외진 곳에서 이제 막 생활했으니까 밤 되면 개 무섭겠죠.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
열리지 않았다.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
있었다는 느낌이 들었다. 생각보다 깨끗해져. 네. 즐거웠습니다. 이제 집에 다시 돌아갈게요. 무슨 열쇠였지? 여기였나? 여긴가 보다. 저기는 길이 없잖아. 여기 맞는 것 같아. 여기로 가는 거야?
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
강아지용 출입문으로 기어 들어가는 것이 훨씬 쉬웠다. 강아지도 있었나 보네. 진짜 이뻐.
For the first time in years,
정말 오랜만에 처음으로
I felt like I was home.
집에 있는 느낌이 들었다.
But instead of a family, there were just memories
하지만
of one.
가족 대신에 추억만 남아있었다. 이게 약간 소설 읽는 듯한 느낌으로 계속 진행돼서 시간 그냥 훅 간다 이거.
Like how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon, except our cat, Molly.
우리는 연어 먹는 것이 질려버렸다고 시간을 잡았다.
The table was still a wreck from the night we
떠나던
left.
그대로 테이블은 엉망진창이었다.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing
폭탄이
everyone
터져서
but sparing the
가방만 남기고
furniture.
다 죽인 것 같았다.
Nothing in the house looked
집은
abnormal.
비정상으로
There was just
보이지 않아.
too much of it,
뭔가
like a
너무
smile with too many teeth.
샤브라샤브라.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank.
집에 침몰하는 가져온 덕분로 만들었다고 말했다. 어쩌고저쩌고. 여기 익히였나 보다.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara.
전조할아버지
with the rest of the
스벤이
house.
바바라를 위해 오르골을 만들었다. 그리고 집에 나머지 부분도. 음악 좋다. 아직 못 보나봐. 내가 봤을 때 딱 여기야.
Mom always told me to stay out of the
엄마는 항상
basement,
지하실에
so I
가지
wasn't
말라고
too
했거든.
surprised when the key didn't fit.
놀랄 일이 아니야. 아니네.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist,
엄마는
but
특별히
she never stopped
낙관주의자가
believing that my
아니었지만
brother Milton
밀턴
was
오빠가
alive.
살아있다고 끝까지 믿었다. 여기 아니야? 오!
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
제 안에서 어쩌고 안 보여. 2층 가자.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
그 다음에 보복으로 에디가 드릴로 들여다보는 구멍들을 뚫었다.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
약간 그거네. 박물관 같은.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
약간 박물관 같이 딱 전시해 놓은 듯한 느낌으로다가 방을 이렇게 그냥 뚫어놓은 거네.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
굉장히 잠깐만. 굉장히 오래 전에 살았구만. 이 사람 1년밖에 못 살았어. 애기. 빅풋.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
가족에 대하여 물어볼 때 가장 먼저 알고 싶은 것은 바바라다. 바바라 핀치, 빌 버튼, 나우 쇼잉, 바바라 핀치. 이건 뭐고 한번 보고.
Edie's father Odin built the original house.
에디의 아버지는 오딘이 원래 집을 지었다. 뭔 소리? 바바라.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
뭐요? 저런 게 있나? 사람 아니죠? 살아있는 거 아니야? (44에서 60)
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
3층 계단을 잠근 것 같다. 이거 어떻게 했더라? 여기 있나? 일단 여기 하면 되겠지. 몰리.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with
몰리는 언제나
if she
친하게
hadn't
지낼 수
died in
있는 걸
1947.
어쩌저쩌고. 10살. 짧게 살았어. 징그러워. 오, 입체적이야. 귀엽구만.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
나는 월터
I think my mom
정도
sometimes
할아버지
regretted not
방에서
sealing it up.
그 방을 잠그지 않은 것을 엄마가 조금 후회한 것 같다.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
가 있다고 했지만 나는 결코 그를 믿지 않았다. 이거였나 보다. 글쎄. 오.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
정말 잘 숨겼던 것 같다.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
엄마가 두려워했던 이유를 알아볼 시간이 이제 찾아왔다.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
밀턴 오빠가 나보다 먼저 여기 온 게 분명했다.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a
이걸
plan.
읽다 보면 내가 계획이 있는 것처럼 보여지고 어쩌고저쩌고.
But I had no idea what was behind that door.
뒤에 뭐가 있는지 전혀 몰랐다. 열어. 오.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
모든 것이 어떻게 될지도 전혀 몰랐다.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the
나는
peephole.
들여다보는 구멍을 통해 몰래의 방안을 어쩌고저쩌고.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
그림 안으로 들어갈 느낌이 들었다. 그거 뭐야? 문어인가? 해파리인가? 불가사리.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
몰리 핀치.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
어? 먹을 것을 찾아봤다. 저빌 먹이는 설마 이거 먹는
The
거야?
gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
좀 이상한데? 나가야 되는 거야? 왜?
I kept eating and eating.
이것도 먹어? 으. 왜 저래? 뭐야?
My
이거?
Halloween candy was all gone. Mom! can I come out now?
지금 나
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
그래?
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
창밖에서 지저귀는 소리가 났다. 엄마 안녕?
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
데비.
I reached out for her. And suddenly,
어?
I was a cat.
예? 예?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
내가 정말 무서워했다. 저기야. 일로와. 어디가? 일로와.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up,
어?
and suddenly I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
어디? 어디?
Rabbits.
여긴가 보다. 오호.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit.
어디? 엄마 토끼. 오호.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
샥. 오. 왜 그러냐? 어디로 가냐? 내려가야 되나 봐. 어떻게 내려가? 가자.
I rolled off the
미친.
cliff and into the ocean.
개 깜짝 놀랐네.
Now, I was hungrier than ever.
어느 때보다도 더 배고팠어. 배고파. 물고기 어딨어? 물고기 어딨어? 물고기다. 물고기 어딨어? 일로와. 너는 내 먹이가 되어야겠다. 간다.
I wanted fat, juicy seeds.
왜 안 먹혀? 왜 안 먹히냐고. 얘 어디 갔냐? 뭐야? 아씨. 어디 갔어? 어디 갔어? 오 녀석 어디 갔어? 와. 먹은 거요? 아니 요 녀석 개 잘 도망가? 그렇지.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
맛있다. 어디 갔어? 맛있어. 어디 갔어? 어디 갔어 이 물개 녀석? 어디 갔냐 이 물개 녀석? 피도 안 보여. 그런 것 같은데? 소리가 나. 그러지. 넌 끝났어.
Grabbed on tight. I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
뭐요? 뭐요?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
세상 괴물이들 그리고 모든 그 사람들을 인터뷰. 우와. 내가 널 잡아먹겠다. 이리 와라. 난 괴물이다.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
맛있어 보여. 일로와. 맛있구만.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
날 멈추게 할 순 없지. 저기 또 있구만. 뭐니까 맛있구만. 녀석 너도다.
As passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
좋은 냄새는 내 파이프 안에 나는 먹잇감이 어디
I got closer and closer.
나는 좀 가까이 보여. 왜 문이 열려 있잖아. 맛있겠구만.
All my stomach started growling.
내 위장들이 전부 우르렁거리고 있어.
And suddenly, I was me again.
내가
I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
신박해.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
상상력이 풍부한 아이였구만.
I can't describe it, but I
요-
felt like some
요거-
part of Molly was
요게
still here.
그거였나 보네. 몰리의 일부가 남아있는 어쩌저쩌. 그냥 안 열리네. 열어볼까?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories.
나중에 분명해지겠지만
Edie would
엄마가
have,
나에게
but Mom didn't like bringing up the past.
어디라는 나를 듣지 않는
Though,
자들을 어떤
when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it
그래도
Molly.
우리가 기리는 새끼종을 지배를 했을 때 몰리 어쩌고 오 진짜 좋다. 망치가 굉장히 여기는 또 무슨 방일까?
I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
많은 애들 공부하고 있는 방에서 많은 시간을 보냈다.
We got along, and it was a good place
우리는
to hide from my
사이좋게
mom.
지냈는데 그곳은 엄마로부터
When Edie
숨기고
told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that
그녀는
collapsed.
스벤이 용 모양의
She could have,
미끄럼틀을
but she
만들다가
didn't.
미끄럼틀이 쓰러져 어쩔 때고
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
500년 동안 핀치 가문은 노르웨이 전체에서 행운과 불운의 문제로 유명했습니다. 뭐야?
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
오딘 핀치는 가문의 저주로 가장 최근에 죽은 피해자들을 묻었다. 그의 아내 이네보르와 갓 태어난 아들 요한.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
1937년 1월 7일 그는 저주로부터 탈출하기 위해 그의 가족 그리고 그의 집을 가지고 바다로 떠났다. 와, 집을 띄운 거야? 대단하구먼.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
어허. 하지만 워싱턴 해안에 12m 높이 파도가 집과 오딘을 바다 밑바닥으로 보내버렸다. 파도는 생각을 못했나 보네.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
오딘의 딸 에디, 그녀의 남편 스벤과 아기 몰리는 오르카스 섬 해안에 발을 디뎠다.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
오딘 핀치는 세 가족 묘지에 처음 묻힌 사람이었다.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
그의 딸 에디는 벌써 새로운 핀치 가족의 집을 꿈꾼다. 이 집 같아. 약간 생긴 벽난로 그거랑. 다 왔나 보다.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
어쩌고저쩌고. 그래도 오딘 좀 오래 살았네. 본인가?
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
에디는 90세가 넘어서도 나의 어머니보다 젊어 보였다. 뭐야? 바닥이 왜 이래? 거울이야 뭐야?
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
할아버지 생애 첫 번째 아내.
It was a pretty big trace.
큰 흔적이었다. 리스트, MT, 레인, 시크릿, 바스룸.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
욕실에는 비밀이 있다. 첫잔.
It's in the last place you would look.
상상하지 못할 곳에 그것이.
It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
책 안에 숨겨. 홀리 몰리. 비밀 공간.
Sven gave Sam an old
깨지겠다.
camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
스벤은 그가 수리한 오래된 카메라를 샘에게 주었다. 그는 카메라를 내려놓는 어쩌려죠. 이게 무슨 방이었지? 왜 작아졌냐 나? 다시 그랬어.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
할아버지 쌤이 쌍둥이 형제가 있었다는 거는 알고 있어.
And that he never talked about him.
그리고 그도 그에 대해 결코 이야기하지 않았다.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
가족사를 싫어했던 것 같았다. 어우 쇼바. 어우 허리 아파. 우주 비행사가 꿈이었나봐. 케빈.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
다리를 다쳤구만.
My
W
brother said he'd die before he ate
S.
another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
안돼.
I told him going around was impossible.
그러지 마.
Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
바람이 불지 않았어.
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind.
안돼.
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
안돼 케빈. 그 강을 건너면 안돼 케빈.
The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
이런 안전 불가증. 켈빈.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
내가 될 수도 있었어. 어허. 켈빈.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
켈빈의 방 공간 절반 줄로 막았다. 그렇구나.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
8세에 입대후 두 번 다시 방에 들어간 적이 없다. 또 있어? 비밀의 방이야? 또? 지렸다. 이러면 뭐야 오호 굉장히 만드는데?
The passages were a pretty tight fit.
통로는 꽤
They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
가면 안 돼? 여기부터 한번 볼까? 진짜 잘 만들었어. 바바라.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
바바라가 아역 스타라고 생각해. 이거였구나.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
그 후에 그녀가 얼마나 힘들지 생각해 본 적은 없었다. 바바라. 꽤 컸네.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
나는 바바라의 죽음에 어떠했어? 바바라 핀치의 놀라운 결말.
Oh, Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
내가 해야 돼? 오.
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
오이! 오이, 오이! 괜찮냐고! 릭! 괜찮냐고! 올라오라고! 내려가기 싫다고! 오른쪽에 이거 쓰러진 거 뭐냐? 이거 정해진 결말. 개 같은 거. 안 돼! 무슨 일이 있었다고요?
Scratch and imagine the worst.
개 같은 거 어딨어? 개 같은 새끼고. 으쉬. 나와, 이 새끼야. 으쉬. 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 나와. 오! 깜짝이야.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
뭐 이런 개 같은. 어디서 개 같은 새끼야. 나와, 이 새끼야. 어디로 갔어? 오, 오, 오.
Rattled and grew still.
나와, 이 새끼야. 깜짝이야. 아우 진짜 씨.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
아, 나 진짜 2차전이요? 이 집 남정네들 여기 자꾸 장난을 쳐. 오, 깜짝아. 아주 그냥 지랄을 해요, 지랄을. 어딨어? 이 새끼야.
Walter, are you there?
월터. 아주 그냥.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hookman, and was speechless. He was
거짓말하지 마.
smashing.
뭐야, 진짜네? 이 미친 새끼, 어떡해.
He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
여기서 도망쳐야 돼. 저 미친 새끼. 여기로 가자. 어떻게 가? 여기다. 도망가자.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
이 새끼 뒤통수를 치자. 가가지고.
Years, the hinges grow.
넌 뒤졌다, 이 새끼야. 이 새끼.
honest, the story might not be over yet.
응? 이야기가 왜 안 끝나? 아, 동생 찾아야지. 야, 어딨어, 너? 걔들 우리 집에 쳐다오는 이건 큰 실수한 거야, 이 자식아. 뭐요?
Hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
아, 진짜 누구요? 이거는 어디 갔냐? 개빠르네.
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
응?
Oh dear.
뭐요?
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Oh my god.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
외국 무서운 감성 이해 못하겠다.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered. As absurd as that comic
에디는
was,
바바라가 기억에 남고 싶을
maybe what
뿐이었다고
Edie saw was a happy ending.
터무니없어 보였지만 에디는 여기서 해피엔딩 어쩌고저쩌고. 아, 왜 안 다쳐? 그렇구만. 그런 일이 있었어. 그런 일이 있었어. 여긴 뭐야? 아니야. 아, 다시 들어가. 여기로 못 나가잖아. 맞네.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music
내가
box.
오르골을 트는 것을 엄마가 좋아하지 않았는지 알 것 같아. 오르골 하면 열쇠가 나오니까 이제 알았으니까 가보자. 잠깐만요. 화장실 좀 다녀오겠습니다. 오케이. 돌리고 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 됐다. 천천히 내려가. 아, 빨리 내려가라. 가봐라.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
제가 파상풍 주사를 또 받고 싶지 않아. 이런 거 잘라내는 것 때문에. 어두워.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying
우리가
packages.
꾸러미를 들고 지하실로 내려간 걸 한 번 본 적이 있다. 냉장고가 있네.
I thought maybe she was hiding
선물을
presents.
숨기는 것이 아닌가 생각했다.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
알고 보니 그보다 더 많이 봤었어. 어디서 야씨.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
walter가 어디 갔는지 엄마에게 물어본 기억이.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
우리 떠났다가 나가봐. 뭐요? 비상식량.
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
이 모든 이야기에서 반복되는 패턴이 있다면
I think it's that none of us has gotten very
이것은
far.
우리 중 누구도 마지막을 가지 못했다는 것이다. 발전기요? 가둬놓은 건가? 뭐야 이거? 완전 감옥이 따로 없구만. 월터 50년을 여기서 살았구나.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
황도망 겁나게 먹네.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
괴물이 있다고?
And then one day, everything just stopped.
어? 근데 왜 안 나와?
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
30년 전 가장
I'm done waiting.
난 더 이상 기다리지 않는다.
I have to leave while I still can.
아직 떠날 수 있을 때 떠나야 한다. 더 밑이 있어? 이야. 이야. 군침이 싹 도는구만.
I know it's out there somewhere.
밖에 어딘가에 있다. 아까 이 집
Whatever killed
아사를
Barbara.
바바를 죽인 그것. 아, 그래서 도망간 거요?
And Molly.
그리고 몰리. 아, 몰리도 죽이고.
And Calvin.
그리고 켈빈. 켈빈은
Maybe this is all a mistake.
어쩌면 이것은 다 실수일지도 모른다.
But I need to stop living the same day. Even if it kills me.
그것을 멈춰야 한다. 그것이다. 그래. 어디 한번 덤벼봐라. 괴물
It was
새끼야.
out there. I want you to know I'm ready for
나는
it.
준비되어 있다는 것을 너에게 알리고 싶다.
I'm going to appreciate all of it.
나는
Especially
모든
the
것에
food.
감사함을 느끼고 싶다. 특히 음식에 대하여.
I don't mind if I only have a year left.
상관없다. 1년이든
Or a month.
1개월이든
Or a single week.
일주일이든
I'd be happy with one new day.
하루라도 새로운 날이면 행복하겠다.
I can already imagine the sun on my face.
햇살이 나는 거
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
왜 여기 있다고 엄마가 말하지 않아. 웃기죠. 이상한 것 같아.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
엄마는 나를 감싸려고 한 것 같아. 어우 무거워. 어우 더럽게 무겁네.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
저는 내가 월드처럼 될까봐 걱정.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house,
살고 있는 삼촌에 대해 나에게 엄마가 절대로 얘기 어쩔 거고.
I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
그건
I
맞지.
don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
엄마 있어서 반복하고 싶다. 쓰레기 다 여기다 버렸었네.
Trying to bury something that's
아직
still alive.
살아있는 것을 묻으려고 하다. 뭐야? 나 떨어진 거야 뭐야? 그러네.
Now that there's only one of us left, or
이제
maybe
우리들
two,
중에서 한 명 아니면 어쩌면 2명 남았으니까.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself
내가 직접 이야기를 들어봐야 할 시간이 있었으니까.
and found out what happened to everyone else.
그리고 다른 사람들에게 무슨 일이 있었는지 알아봐야.
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the
하지만
problem.
이제는 이야기가 자체가 문제가 됐다.
Maybe we believed so much in a family curse.
가족의 저주를 너무
We
믿어버린
made it real.
것일지도 모른다. 우리가 저주를 시도시켰다. 뭐요? 어떻게 된기요? 맙소사. 여기로는 안 다니나봐. 철도가. 이거 아닌데? 어디로 가는 거요? 왼쪽에 길이 있었구나.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
이걸 써도 되는 것인지 모르겠다. 소설을?
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
다 없어지는 것이 나을지도 모르겠다. 차야 저거?
But I thought you should know about your
그러니까
family.
가족에 대해 네가 알아야 된다고 생각해. 뭐야 왜 안 가져?
And the history you're a part of.
그리고 너도 포함된 그 역사를. 그건 뭐야? 뭔가 지금 그래픽 말도 안 되게 좋아. 이거 딱 썸네일 각인데?
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
내가 지금 그런 것처럼 갈피를 잡을 수 없는 느낌.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
사람들은 그걸 믿은 것 같다. 아직도 전기가 들어와. 센서가 있다.
And when you look at the house,
그리고 집을 보면
that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness,
역사를 보면
any of it seems possible.
다 가능할 것만 같다. 이렇게 연결돼 있구나. 여기로 가야 되나?
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
그러게 말이야.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but
인정하기는 부끄럽지만
the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than
다른
the human
사람보다
one.
애완동물 묘지가 더 기분 나빴다.
3 of the gerbils were mine, and
저그 세
Two
마리는
had been
내
my fault.
것이었고 두 마리는 내 잘못이었다. 허허 너무 많이 갔어. 루시 데이시 찰리 투커 코코 조이 개 많아. 몇 마리가 한 거야? 녀석 개 많아. 섀도우 밥 올립 몇 마리야?
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
스벤이 집을 지었지만 에디가 묘지를 설계했다. 허허 몇 마리요? 몰리 핀치 케빈 핀치 스벤 핀치 에디 핀치 월터 핀치 바바라 핀치.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea.
오딘의 기념비는 분명
My
에디의
mom was
생각이었어.
always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
사라지지 않았다. 아이고. 안돼 에디. 에디 맞지?
She could see it poking out of the water at
간조
low
때문에
tide.
과거가 고개를 내미는 것을 그녀는 볼 수 있어. 허허. 비극이구만. 안 보이는데? 어떻게 보냐? 아, W.
Edie said she dreamed about the old
매일
house
밤
every
꿈에서
night.
이전 집이 나온다고 말했다. 아직도 반짝이고 있어. 저는 도시인가 보다.
Edie's side was always easier for me to
애기의 생각은
understand,
언제나 내가 이해하기에 더 쉬웠다.
but the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was
엄마
coming
입장을
from.
더 이해할 수 있게 되었다.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
교녀 형제들을 살리기에 충분하지 않았다. 이쪽으로. 개고리 핀치? 그레고리, 샘 핀치, 부스 핀치. 핀치 가문이 이게
She lost two of her brothers, just like I
엄마는
did.
나처럼
I get why she
형제
tried so
두
hard to protect
왜
us.
엄마가 우리를 지키려고 그렇게 열심히 노력했는지 어쩌겠지. 밀턴 핀치.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
난 태어난 연도가 똑같네. 불쌍한 모습. 허허.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
어휴. 근데 어떻게 다 연결돼 있냐 이게. 사다리 어떻게.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
쌤 할아버지를 어떻게 두고?
They were both pretty intense.
둘 다 강렬한 인상이야. 냥냥 펀치. 거의 귀여워. 양펀치 딱 할리는.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
죽음을 찾아 나선 것도.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
우리는 모두 뭔가 두려워한다. 네?
Dawn,
I promise.
Oh.
You'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime. Perfect.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything? It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
셀 주는 거?
Aw. You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
와우.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while I take a picture.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
Nothing quite like being outside. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just... Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Don!
이야.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
또 올라가.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
오 마이 갓. 어허. 이렇게
Of
가셨구나.
all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
안 좋게 갔구만. 예술로 갔어. 보일러실인가?
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close.
엄마와 에디는 사이가
They both
좀
lost a
가까워졌다.
lot.
둘 다 잃은 것이 많았다. 팀워크, 리스펙. 스트레스? 스트렝스. 그래보래.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
응?
Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
응?
Damn it.
또 전에
Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
뭔데? 엄마 나 추워. 빨리 꺼내줘.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand.
어, 쉣.
About everything.
아니, 애기를 걷다 두고 엄마가
But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
하지만 사고가 네 잘못을 인정한다.
I'm sure he's happy.
그래도 행복할 거야.
And he'd want you to be happy too.
그러므로 너도 행복하길 바랄게.
Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
남자가 좀 착하네. 위로하네.
can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and
엄마가 시
yet
쓰는 것을 상상할 수 없지만 거스를 위한 시.
a poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
아빠가 조잡하게 만든 텐트를 마음을 파괴할 수 없다.
Thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. And all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
하지만 아버지는 음악을 더 크게 틀어라고 하네. 우와, 안돼, 폭풍이 오고 있어. 나는 바랬다. 뭐야?
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and
해변에서
foam.
혼자 너 알아?
But I didn't. Until we found you.
우리가 너를 발견, 어쩌고저쩌고.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
가족이 덱 많네. 근데 다 갔어.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
엄마가 가장 멀리 갈 수 있는 곳이. 여기 개 높아.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
엄마는 종교에 대해서 결코 얘기하지 않았지만 어쩌고저쩌고.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
아빠인 상제를 만났다. 어허, 그렇구만.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
영어를 가르치는 직업을 구했다.
Louis was born a year later.
루이스는 1년 후에 태어났다.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where
아빠가
else to
죽었을 때
go.
엄마는 어디로 가야 할지 몰랐던 것 같다. Damn!
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
에디는 엄마가 돌아와서 분명히 기뻤을 것이다. 윌턴, 루이스, 에디스.
The house had to get a little bigger, but
집이 더
Edie was used to
커졌어야
that.
했고 어차피 에디는 그런 것에 익숙했다.
And for a while, things were good.
한동안은 좋았다.
Almost normal.
거의 정상인 느낌. 구구단이네. 이건 12구단이네.
But it didn't last.
오딘 핀치. 한시간이 왜 가지 않나.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
왜 생일에 에디가 성을 주면서 정말을
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
실종됐구나 얘는.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another
에디는
painter in
집에
the family.
화가가 한 명 더 생겨서 기뻤던 것 같다. 마법의 부.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush. I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
나는 3살이었다. 오이 정말 마법사가 된 거냐고.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
그림은 어디냐? 아 이름이야.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
엄마는 확실히 애들이 그냥 제가 생각한 애들 있으면 어쩌고
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room
많은 시간을 그에
until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
엄마가 그를 통돌이 군대에 지킬 때까지 그랬다. 루이스.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
이렇게 높은 곳에 방을 만들어주면 어떡해. 뭐야, 깜짝이야. 어떻게 가야 돼? 개 높아. 위로 올려. 몸에 무거운 거.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar.
루이스의 방은
That part
무척이나
of him
익숙한
lived
냄새가
on.
난다. 루이스가 남긴 것이었다. 나 안 나갈 건데?
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
게임을 참 못했다. 게임을 못했구만.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
야, 물고기 쌓인다.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged. It seemed very promising at first.
팔 아파.
He told me he'd made a new friend.
자, 이름 붙인 도시.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
안돼, 상상을 멈춰.
And songs for them to play.
그들이 연주할 곡을 만들었습니다.
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
안돼.
He no longer spoke at the cannery.
더 이상 컴퓨터를 공장에서 일하지 않았어요.
But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
생선 좀.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
하지 말자. 오늘 도시를 좀 바로 다른 곳을 시작했어.
New Louisville.
New Louisville.
St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
그는 현실에서 멀어져가고 시작했어. 뭐야? 가리지 마.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
엄마인가 보다.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
멋있는 여왕을 만나러 가자.
handsome queen.
여왕을 만나러 가자.
The queen was on her own quest for
빛나는 무지개.
radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her
론 은하프.
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
그 세계가 가장 사무하고 야 3D에서 야.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
위대한 존재였어.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of the Golden Palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
그와 논쟁하는 것은 쉽지 않았어. 맙소사. 생선 피. 개 많네.
He began to forget the world we know.
그는 우리의 세계를 잊기 시작했어. 오요.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
근로자라는 생각을 하고 그랬던 것입니다. 근데 왜 그래? 루이스?
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
지독하게 경멸하기 시작했습니다. 뭐 하는 거야? 루이스, 뭐 하는 거야, 루이스? 루이스, 루이스, 그러면 안 돼. 놀러 가야 되나?
I still thought I could save him.
전 아직도 그를 구할 수 있다고 생각했어요.
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
경험에 올랐다고 말하는 저 됐어.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
그 동료들이 많이 있었어요. 얼굴이 없어요, 애들이.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on
내게
advising.
조언을 주려는 현명한 캐릭터를 포함되어 있었어요.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
그 왕관을 그 여왕을 기다렸습니다.
There was only one thing left to do.
이제 남은 것은 단 한 가지. 뭐요?
Bend down his head.
머리를 숙이는 것. 뭐요?
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son, was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
알고 있던 사람들은 모두 그를 그리워할 것입니다. 아, 말렸어야지. 박사놈아.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
가장 머리 아픈 녀석이었어.
On
On the way back from Lewis's funeral,
루이스의
my mom told
장례식에서
me to start
돌아오는 길에
packing.
엄마가 짐 싸기 시작하라고 나에게 말했다.
She waited until the day before we
엄마는
left to tell
떠나는
Edie.
전날에서야 에디에게 말했다.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it
더
easier
쉽게
or harder.
하려는 건지 어렵게 하려는 건지 불확실했다. 열려있네?
I wish we'd stayed.
나는 남고 싶었다.
But I understand why we left.
하지만 왜 우리가 떠났는지는 이해했다.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
엄마는 모든 것을 남겨뒀다.
What happened that night had been coming for a
그
long
밤에
time.
일어난 일은 어쩔 수 없었다.
Maybe it should have come sooner.
어쩌면 더 빨리 일어났어야 하는 건지도 몰랐다.
But it had to end one way or
어떻게
another.
되든 간에 끝나야 했다.
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
이제 남은 이야기는 마지막 밤뿐이다. 무슨 일이 있었던 거냐고?
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and
마지막
didn't say a
날
word.
에디는 우리가 짐 싸는 것을 보기만
Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
때가 되셨다면
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
초를 많이 가지고 있었구나.
When my mom sailed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
다른 입구에 대해 알고 있었던 것 같지는 않다.
Or that Edie had a key to
에디가
it.
열쇠를 가지고 있었다는 것.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
집을 떠난다고 무서운 현상이 사라지는 것이 아니다.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories.
그 이야기 때문에 아이들이
I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
에디스와 내가 오늘 밤에 떠나는 게 나을 것 같아요.
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning.
요양원에서 아침에 밴을
Okay.
보내게 할게. 알았죠?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
나중에 우리 포드가 나갔지.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. turned around.
헤매게 됐지. 근데 어디로 가야 해요?
For a while, I wondered.
그동안 대회하게 됐어.
I started seeing things.
헛것들이 보이기 시작했어. 오 뭐야 깜짝이야. 나도 헛것이
Things I'd
보이는 것 같아.
forgotten had ever existed.
존재했다는 사실을 잊고 있었던 것들. 보여.
But when I saw them, they felt
하지만
like
그것들을
old
보니까
friends.
오래된 친구 같은 느낌이었지.
That night, a lot of things
그날과
came
많은
back to me.
것들이 내게로 돌아왔어.
Or maybe I came back to them.
아니면 내가 돌아간 것이다.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by.
몇 년이 지나갔다.
My mom didn't like to talk about it,
손톱을 안 깎네.
but she started getting
엄마는
sick a
그거에 대해
lot.
말하는 걸 좋아하지 않아.
The rest happened pretty quickly.
나머지는 금방 일어났다.
She got better for a while,
잠시 나아졌다가
and then she didn't.
악화되었다.
And then I was alone.
그 다음에 나는 혼자가 되었다.
The last Finch left alive.
마지막으로 살아남은 핀치.
Until I found out about you.
너에 대하여 알기 전까지는 그랬지.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
이 모든 것에 대해 뭐라고 해야 할지.
If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you.
이 일지는 너를 위한 것이었다.
But now I hope you'll never see it.
하지만 이제는 네가 절대로 볼 일이 없으면 좋겠다.
I just want to meet you
단지 널 만나고
and tell you all these stories myself.
이야기들을 직접 해주고 싶다.
But I guess if you're reading this now,
하지만 이걸 지금 읽고 있다면
things didn't work out that way.
그렇게 되지 못한 것이겠지. 설마
This is where your story begins.
여기에서
I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh my god. 소름. 아, 그러면은 아이 낳고 갔나 보다. 좋은 곳으로.